But that's just at this crop. So every crop is different. And I know sometimes some local crops are just like in the church basement or in somebody's house or whatever. I know when I have a crop at my house, there's not that much space for people, but it's fun, right? So yeah. Alrighty. And then, oh yeah. So I wanted to talk to you guys about the fawn on the lawn layout. So this layout it's very serendipitous. So what happened with the fawn on the lawn layout, some of you, if you subscribe to me and get email notifications, you would have received an email notification yesterday, which was Saturday, that I put up a new video. That actually was not a new video. It was very, very old, which is why I was using my Cricut and my Gypsy. I got like so many requests from people saying, oh, you should use your Cricut and Gypsy more often. I don't have those anymore, so I can't. But it raised a really fun, I mean, it was really, but I was really happy to see everybody's comments on that layout, because even though it's a really old layout with really, and the reason that it was private was because it was actually, I made the video and then I submitted it to a magazine and it was in Canadian Scrapbooker. And so you can't publish it anywhere. So I just left it unpublished. And then I published it for a while. And then somehow I think I just I don't know what happened there, but it became unpublished for a really long time. And so when I was going through my YouTube channel yesterday, cleaning it all up, I noticed that it was unpublished. So I just clicked public, and without realizing that notification then went out to all my subscribers. And so everybody thought, oh, she's got a new video up. And so you guys were watching it and thinking, oh, she's doing her videos a new way now. She's doing music instead of narrating. And that's not the case. I am going to continue to narrate my videos. Don't worry. I'm not going to stop that. But what I found most interesting about your guys' response to that video is how many people really appreciated the fact that I used a lot of tools in that layout. And so it's sort of given me a bit of a challenge or inspiration, I guess, to try to use some of the tools that I used to use back in those days when I was scrapbooking in the other room. Because you guys will notice like the whole setup is completely different. I use different tools. I don't even have that stuff anymore. I had a different mat. Everything was completely different. And so, yeah, but I used my Grand Caliber, which I don't think I'll be using my Grand Caliber. I think I'm gonna sell my Grand Caliber, but I could definitely use my Big Shot. And I used nestabilities, and I used ink, and I mist, and all kinds of things. And I used my my digital die cutter, which at that point was a Cricut, and I used my little Gypsy to set it all up and everything like that. And I used to have a lot of fun doing that. So that and I even used like the little Xyron thing to put adhesive on my die cuts and everything. So it really kind of inspired me to try to challenge myself to get back to some of those tools that we all have in our scrap room and that we don't always use, because I don't know what it is, but I don't know. I don't know why I never pull out my die cut machine very often. I think just we get so many pre-made embellishments that are so cute that I don't feel the need to use my die cutter, but I really should use it. So you guys have really challenged me in your response to the fawn on the lawn layout, which always is hard to say because it reminds me so much of lawn fawn. But your response to that was really interesting and helpful. So thank you guys for all of your feedback about it. And nobody complained that it was old stuff, which really, when I first started getting comments on this video and I realized what had happened, because I don't usually get comments on really, really old videos. And then I realized, oh, it's because I made it public and now it's at the tops of everybody's lists. So my first thought was people are going to be thinking, what the heck is up with you and all these old supplies? And I wasn't sure if you guys would like the layout, because it was like the basic gray Origins collection, which is from 2010, I think. But you didn't talk about that stuff. You talked about how cool it was that I used all these tools and all these old supplies. So I thought that really was quite interesting, you know, in this day when we buy everything that's brand new, and we just kind of like forget about the stuff that's old. Like I still have some of the Origins collection in my stash because I love that collection so much. But do I reach for it when I need a green? No, I reach for, you know, something from some new collection. So yeah, I think it took hearing it from other people to realize that it's okay to use old supplies, and that you know, we should be using our old supplies. That's what they're there for, is to use, right? Don't get me wrong, I love some new stuff, but yeah, I'm gonna try to dip into my old stuff, and that kind of relates to the first question from, not the very first question, but the question about do I use my stash from Lily Scraps, right? So do I use my stash? Well, obviously not enough, so I'm gonna try to do that more. Okay, so there's a couple more questions here. So there's a couple more questions and comments. So somebody asked me about my typewriter, which is, you can't see, but somebody asked me about my typewriter. Can you still get ribbon for it? Is it a pain to replace it? You can actually get typewriter ribbon at your local Staples store. They still sell typewriter ribbon, believe it or not. You can also buy it online, and a lot of companies are making what's called a universal typewriter ribbon that fits in almost all, not all, but almost all old typewriters. And I think there's a couple of different styles, but there's not like 400,000 different styles like there is with ink, with printer ink. So it's a lot easier to get refills than you might think. Thanks for the question. And then Tracy Zook made a really, really good comment about trimmers that I just wanted to bring everybody's attention to, because in my last scrap chat video, we were talking about the trimmers that I have. I have two trimmers. They're both over there. I have the Fiskars one, which is on top. I'm just going to move my hand right there. So the green one underneath they're stacked on top of each other. The green one is the Caterpillar, and then the orange one on top is the Fiskars one. And Tracy Zook made a really good point, which is that you want to look for a 1/4 inch grid on the surface. And she said she wouldn't be happy with only a 1/2 inch grid, and I'm with her. That would not be cool. So make sure that you take a look at how it's how it's marked off, and make sure that there are enough of those lines. And if you're Canadian, make sure, especially if you're getting a trimmer that isn't a scrapbooking company's trimmer, make sure that you're getting one with inches on it. Unless if you like to scrapbook in centimeters, because the scrapbooking industry is all in inches. And so it's really, I had a trimmer before that was in centimeters, and it was a nightmare. I hated using it. So that's another thing to think about if you're in Canada or some other place that uses the metric system. So then the Fashion Kitty Cat asked me in my last scrap chat video, asked me what is my filming setup for these scrap chat videos. So I often get questions about what my filming setup is like for those videos. You can see my tripod back there, and my video camera is actually just a little bit out of, there it is. So I often get questions about that, but now I'm getting questions about this. So this is very makeshift. Let me just see. How is the best way to set this up so that you can see how it is? If I had a giant mirror, that would be awesome. Let me see. So I'm using the webcam on my computer. So I have a Apple, I guess it's an iMac, like the big honkin' one, like the giant one. I have that. And then I have two lights. So I have this light here, which is an aught. Hang on, I'm going to have to, the cord won't reach. But I have this light here, which is an aught light. It's a desk light. You're not going to be able to see it. Anyhow, I have it set up so that it is right beside, hang on, where did I have that? It's basically, I'll show it to you in a second, but it's kind of like close to my computer and shining so that when I hold something up, see my hand right now, if I wanted to show you guys my phone, it's shining right on that surface so that when because it used to be, I didn't have that there and I was lighting my face, but then when I'd try to show you something, it would be so dark that you couldn't see it. So that light is just for that. And then I have a light on an arm, because lighting is the most important thing about videotaping, right? So I have just a light on an arm right here, and it's just right, it's actually usually behind my computer, and I only swing it out for these videos. So let me put that back, and I just point that on me so that you can see me. It's not pointed right now, but there. Now I'm like blinded from looking at those lights. Oops. Okay, so yeah, so yeah, the lighting is really important. I've got a light there and a light there. That one shines down this way and that one shines on me. And I just use my webcam, and I use my awesome microphone because it's new, but I used to just talk and it would pick up. I don't even know where the microphone is on that computer, but it used to just pick me up, I think. Or did I use my headset? I don't remember. I guess I could check the old scrap chats and see. I might have used my headset. I have a Logitech headset here, which I really just use for the speaker, for the earphones now. I don't use it for the microphone because I got this bad boy. And that's my setup. I just sit here and talk. And it's pretty easy. And my video software, which I now use Final Cut Pro, I just kind of go to File, Import Media, and then up here there's the option to pick my camera or my FaceTime built-in camera. And I just pick FaceTime built-in camera, and that's it. I hit record and I start going. So I'm just going to take a quick photo right now of this setup so that you guys know what I'm talking about. Here we go. Me taking a picture of you taking a picture of me. Okay. So that is what it looks like. So there's my... I was just pointing to the light. So you see the light on the arm here. That's the light that lights me. And then this is the aught light. And then you can even see my printer there. And my iPad. And then I have a little piece of this blue thing is just a piece of foam that I put under my microphone so that every time I hit the desk, you don't hear too much of a huge clunk. You'll still hear some clunking, but not so much. So that is my setup. Thanks for asking that. So yeah, there's some discussion about whether I was the first process video person or not. You know who did process videos before me? She did one, Marion Smith. She is the reason that I started doing process videos, because she had a bunch of videos about her mini albums, and then she had one of her scrapbooking, and I just thought that it was so cool to see even just little things like the way that she held her tape dispenser was different than how I was doing it. I was a brand new scrapbooker, and I thought, wow, if I didn't look at her video, I would have never known that I wasn't holding that tape in the most efficient way. So that's how I started doing it, because I didn't consider myself that good of a scrapbooker or experienced, but I thought that just watching other people do stuff will help you learn. Even if you see them and you're kind of like, oh, I wouldn't do it that way, I'd do it this way, it can still help you to learn. And so that's why I started doing them. But yeah, back when I started, there really weren't any process videos out there. There was that one by Marion Smith. And shortly after I started doing them, a couple of other people started doing them as well. So I might not have been the very first, but I certainly was the first person to use the word process video, because I remember talking with my husband about that. Thank you as always for taking the time. You are the pioneer of process videos. Ah, that's really sweet. This is from Scrap Saturdays. It says, hello, Tracy. Thank you for always taking the time to make the most informative videos. You are the pioneer of process videos, and I know I speak for many of us crafters on here. It's from your first videos that we became empowered to make our own. Thank you. And then she gave me some compliments about how I looked on my last scrapbook video. Thank you, my last scrap chat. She liked my hair and my necklace, so thank you. I don't have that necklace today, and my hair is really different today, but that's okay. Oh, yes. So then we were talking last time about how to print 2 3x4 pictures on a 4x6 photo. I had said that I don't do that on that one because I just don't want to bother trying to figure out how to do it. And so this person said, I use Picasa to print 2 3x4 photos on a 4x6 paper. I just select 2 pictures and create a collage. Picasa is a free software download, or you could use PicMonkey if you don't want the download. And that was okay, somebody here, Kay's mom, has a quick question for you. You may have shared this at some point already, so I apologize if I'm repeating. In a recent video, you mentioned something that you had seen in another process video and said that you don't get the chance to watch YouTube videos all that often anymore. I'm wondering, who are some of your go-to scrapbookers to watch when you get the time? I'm always so interested in who others scrapbookers enjoy watching, and I especially love when I find other Canadian scrapbookers to watch. So who are some of your favorites? Thanks so much. This is a really tricky question for me to answer off the cuff, because I really don't spend a whole lot of time watching YouTube videos because I have a job and kids and life. So I don't get a chance to watch nearly as much as I would like to. But there are a couple who I go to, and I think that part of the problem of not watching many YouTube videos is that I don't get to discover new YouTubers until they're old, and then they might not still be making stuff anymore. But probably my favorite new to me YouTuber would be Jen Show. I love her stuff. I love her work and I love her videos. She does a really great job of putting together a process video. I always love Kitty Scrapper, Nancy Sinclair in the UK, because she's awesome and fun, and her layouts are really cool. And so I always love watching her. I really love Jill the Coffee Mommy because I love the way that she speaks to her audience, and I feel like I'm friends with her even though I'm not. So I really like people who speak like that to their audience. And I really don't get a chance to watch very many, so that's about it. I used to watch Shamel when I got a chance, but I don't know if she's probably doing videos, but I just don't get a chance to see them anymore. But I did used to watch hers back in the day. And sometimes if I really want to kind of watch something that's really different than what I do, I'll watch something by Vilna Furstenberg or somebody like that. And wait. Colored Sprinkle Girls. She's awesome and I love her stuff, and she stopped doing videos for a really long time, but I suspect she's doing them again because I think I saw on Facebook she's been sharing some process video links. So she must be doing them again, and her work is awesome, and I love watching her videos too. So those are some of the ones that I watch, and I better make sure I check out Colored Sprinkle Girls. Her name is Patty, and I love her stuff, so I should check out her channel next time I have a chance. So thanks for the question, Kay's mom. People that talking about my jewelry. I had a distracting necklace on the last time. It was one of those ones that you kind of like make into a ball, but it kind of slowly let go the whole time that I was talking. So I kept making it back into a ball, and it would slowly let go again. So here's somebody, Rita Ramirez. Oh, Rita. Hi, Rita. She says, hi, everyone. The answer to the 3x4 question is that is asked for the PictureMate charm is just go to Epson Easy Photo Print icon, and once it opens up to where your pictures are located, you will have the option of 2x2, and that does not mean that it is 2x2. It just means that you will get 2 3x4 photos on one photo sheet. From there, you will have the option of borders and borderless. Enjoy. I love the PictureMate charm. Thank you so much, Rita. Thank you. That is perfect. That's exactly what we were asking for. So yay, Rita. Then Jane Holand says there's a program, and she gives a link here. It's www.photility.com. So PHOTILITY.com. That Windows users can use. That is great for 2 3x4 photos on a 4x6. Not sure if they have it for Mac folks, but people might want to think of it. I thought this might help some of your viewers. Thanks for all your help and support. Then Jennifer says that I'm less nervous with face-to-face videos now, and she remembered watching a face-to-face video a while back, and I was more nervous then. I did a giveaway a while back where I was on screen, and I was so nervous. It was my first time. It was in the other scrap room on the other side of this wall, and I was so nervous. I actually did outtakes because I kept like messing it up, and I did a little blooper reel at the end. It was quite funny. So thanks for noticing that I'm less nervous. I still feel nervous, but at least I don't look nervous, so that's good. Okay, then a couple people said that my most hated layout, which was the wrinkled fingers layout, was not that bad. And I took a second look at it, and it's not that bad. I don't know what I was talking about. I mean, it's certainly not my best work. I'm not in love with it, but you're right, it's not that bad. Then somebody else, Jennifer here, says, try a program called Photosheet for printing 2 3x4 on a 4x6 sheet. So clearly there is a lot of options for people who want to put 2 3x4 photos on a 4x6 sheet. So take a look at this video, which is scrapchat Q&A January 2015 on my channel. I'll link it in the information section. And there are lots of, ideas here for how to do that. Then people talking about my accent. And you know, there are some people here who have been following me for years, and that's so sweet, you guys. Oh yeah, so Hannah Lemieux says that there's a newer gold mist that came out this year. It's the Tim Holtz Distress Spray in metallics. She hasn't tried it, so she can't compare it, but suspects that it's a pretty good quality. So there's that from Hannah. Thank you, Hannah. Okay, here's a good question. Only Marin asks me, have I ever gone back and redone any of my layouts, or do I just leave them as is? I never redo layouts, ever, ever, ever. So I just leave them as they are. Sometimes, as I mentioned, I might scrapbook a photo twice, like this one. I'm thinking I might re-scrapbook, but it's not a do-over. I'm going to leave the other one in my book. It's just sometimes the same picture, I could tell a different story. So this one, when I first scrapbooked it, it was about how cool it was to see all the yellow taxis. But the next time that I scrapbook it is going to be more about like the hustle and bustle of the city, which I love. I love the energy of New York City. So I just love everything about New York. So I could scrapbook about New York all the time. So yes, I don't redo, but I know that some people do, and I don't think there's, you know, you got to do whatever works for you, right? By the time I spend 2 hours or more making a layout and getting it all done, I'm just done with it. I don't want to see it again. I don't want to think about it again. Until it's like in the page, and then I'm just enjoying it, right? So once I leave the creative phase with something, I really have no interest in revisiting it in a creative way again. I just want to enjoy it at that point. And even, you know, if I don't like it, like the wrinkly fingers ones, that one about the wrinkly fingers, I'm not feeling creative about that photo anymore. So I'm not going to be redoing it because I don't like the layout. I'm just going to leave it. But everybody's different, and so if you feel inspired to scrapbook old layouts and take them apart or redo them, go for it. I think that's great. Okay, so now there's somebody here, Isadora Rivera. Oh, the lady with the beautiful name. I think I've commented on your beautiful name before. I'm sorry if I'm making you feel self-conscious about it. But she says, thanks so much for this video. You are my absolute favorite YouTuber. I've been toying with the idea of doing process videos, but I'm introverted. Me too. I'm introverted, and I think we're usually our worst critics. I think everybody is their worst critics for the most part, whether you're introverted or not. I worry that people will be mean or worse, won't even want to watch my videos. Listening to you talk about making videos and just accepting that they're not going to be perfect and powering through is fantastic advice. Thank you for this. I could have listened to you talk about this subject for much longer. I could have talked about it for much longer. Yeah, so I think the reason I flagged this one as one to talk about, not only because your name is so beautiful, but also because I'm introverted too, and I'm pretty shy, and I think it's just different doing process videos because it's the camera's on your hands, not on you, and you, by the time you are putting it into words, you've already seen it to the end, and so you know where it's going, and so you have that advantage, right, that the audience doesn't have. You know what's going to happen before it happens, and I think that what I wanted to talk about here was just where you said that we're our own worst critics, and I think that, you know, if I'd be very surprised if you would get any hate on your videos if you made it. I've done over 500 videos, and I've probably gotten maybe 3 or 4 mean-spirited comments over the 4 years I've been doing this, and I just ignored them. And, you know, early on, you may not get a whole lot of views or comments on your videos. That's just because there are so many people out there making videos every day that it's hard. You know, it's easy for your videos to get lost in the masses. But link it up to me and I'll watch it. I'd be happy to watch your video. So yeah, I encourage you, if you're feeling shy about doing process videos, you should just jump in and do it because you will enjoy it, I'm sure. And if you don't, then just don't do it anymore. You've got nothing to lose. Oh, right. Then Rita Ramirez also said, boy, Rita, you're very helpful today. You're helpful all the time. I know Rita online, so she's very kind and helpful all the time. So anyways, she says the Caterpillar Pro has the light, which is a good function too. And I totally forgot to talk about the light because I never use the light because I've got these big lights in my room behind me. And so when I turn on that light on the Caterpillar Pro, can't even see it. Like, it doesn't even do a thing for me. I have to turn off my lights in order to see it. But if I didn't work in these kinds of conditions, I would love the light, and I have used it before, and I do like that. What it does is it shines through the paper and you can see exactly where it's going to cut, because the edge of the metal edge of the cutting surface is there. So, and I do show that in my video about the Caterpillar Pro. So check that out if you're confused about what I'm saying, because I didn't describe it very well. But you're right, Rita, the light is a really good feature that I forgot to highlight when I was talking about them. Wordfish says, I think I might be the outline person. Keep up the outline talk. 2 thumbs up. I think you were too, Wordfish. Yeah, I was talking about how when I say outline, it sounds like I'm talking about oatmeal, like oats, Oatline. I love that comment. So Ahsoka Scrapper is saying that she thinks about doing YouTube videos. For a long time, she's been thinking about it, but is concerned about being boring and feeling kind of rushed on doing a shorter video. Well, you know, I think that anybody who watches these videos is interested in scrapbooking, and I don't think that they would find scrapbooking boring. So, you know, my husband would probably find it boring, but I wouldn't. So, you know, it's the audience that you're playing to. And, so you have to know your audience, and I don't think you don't have to rush it. You can just make it however long you want it to be, and then you can always fast forward it, like make it a little bit faster in the processing of it, or you could cut out parts, or just leave it long. Some people really like long videos. So as far as the length of your videos go, I think one thing to think about is the fact that there are people out there who love long videos, and there are people out there who love short videos. And I don't think that you should make your videos for either of those people. I think you should make your videos for you. And if it's too long, then some of the people will say, I don't want to watch that video. And if it's too short, some people will say, I don't want to watch that video, it's too short. So just make it however long it's going to be, and there will be some people who will like it. And that's just the way it is. You can't please all the people all the time. So do it whatever way it comes out, and somebody will watch it, I'm sure. Okay, So if I missed your question, leave me a question in this video, in the comment section for this video, and I will get back to it next time. So what I do in the weeks leading up to a scrap chat, or I guess in the days leading up to a scrap chat, I just open a little note on my phone, and I'll start putting ideas of things to talk about in there based on your guys' comments on social media, what I see you guys asking me about specifically, but also sometimes I'll just put stuff on that people are talking about in general. And then I also go into the comment section for the last scrap chat video, and I'll get questions from there too. So put questions in this video for whatever you'd like me to talk about in the next video, and I will do my best to get to your question. But I mean, that's one of the benefits of being in a kit club kit in WWREDSOX fan. Oh, WW Red Sox fan. That's who it is. Get some poor reading skills here.